Hi everyone, my name is Victoria and I'm going to be doing this video on gender bias in children for my Human Development and Family Studies class at Michigan State University. To start off, I'm going to talk about the difference between sex and gender. Sex is the biological makeup that a person is born with, like male or female, and gender is how someone chooses to express themselves in society, like either more masculine or more feminine. Another term I wanted to touch on is gender bias. Gender bias occurs when there is a prejudice towards one specific gender. So in other words, gender bias happens when it is assumed that certain objects or activities are geared towards one specific gender. Gender bias is very prevalent at a young age and can be found in different toys, books, and clothing. A specific example is the toy aisle at Meijer. I took these pictures at the Okemos Meijer, and as you can see when I go through them, it is clear that there is a bias because girl toys have pink and purple packaging, and the boy packaging is mostly blue, black, or gray. The girls' toys tend to be related to dolls or beauty, and the boy toys are different trucks, dinosaurs, and action figures. Even the two options for children's bikes in Meijer are either a blue bike or a pink bike. There is a gender bias towards different activities for boys and girls at a young age also. It is thought that boys should be running around playing sports like basketball, football, or baseball, and girls should be wanting to do dress up or dance. As children start to reach middle school, activities such as running and fighting are viewed as something that only boys can and should do, and this can really hurt girls' self-esteem at such a young age. I've included a commercial done by Always about what like a girl means, because it shouldn't be an insult, it should mean amazing things.
Hi, Erin. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
My hair.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
Gender bias and stereotypes can harm children in negative ways because if they do not conform to these gender norms, they could be judged, and this can lead to confusion, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, and sometimes even self-harm. According to this study, gender concepts are learned by children as young as 6 months old. They also found that 68% of children were gender labeling by 21 months, and gender stereotypes began as young as 2 years old. This next experiment focused on gender bias in young children and what their preferred toy preference is. They conducted this experiment with 96 British children between the ages of 4 and 8 years old. They showed the children different magazines. One group looked at a magazine that showed different children playing with gender stereotype toys, and the other group looked at a magazine that showed children playing with counter-stereotype toys. Their end results were that children with exposure to gender counter-stereotype magazines had an increased gender flexibility in their attitudes towards who they played with, boys or girls, and what toys they played with. Another research article found that families who promote more flexibility in youth gender ended up raising a child who considered career choices of both their mom and their dad. Those with parents not encouraging gender flexibility ended up typically only considering a career path similar to the parent of the same sex. An interesting opportunity for further research on this topic could be to examine a large group of parents on their attitudes towards others conforming or not conforming to gender bias, and then follow their children around through the first 25 years of life and keep track of their self-esteem and their attitudes about themselves. I wonder if there would be a connection between parents' negative attitudes towards not conforming to gender bias and their child's self-esteem and confidence. Overall, it should be our job as parents, friends, siblings, and grandparents to ensure that children do not feel judged or embarrassed for their interests, the way they dress, or the toys they play with starting at such a young age. No one should feel ashamed or criticized for the way they express themselves.